Hi guys, this is my review of Man United versus Derby in the FA Cup round of 16. So, I've just been at the game, just got back from Derby. It's been a fucking long ass day, I'm not gonna lie. But good performance all round. It's one of them where, you know, it's a good performance where we're at right now. But I do think that should we be considering that as a good performance? That should be a routine performance for me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the game, and I'm just going to go into some player ratings after that. So basically, I think we done all right in the first half. We played some good football. We attacked their goal a lot. I think we played. Bruno Fernandes is definitely helping the side, although I think, as I'll get onto later, I think that he did give the ball away a little bit too much today. But you can see just the movement and how in sync he is with all the players. Like, you can see that he's the one that's making things happen, and he's telling other people where to go. So I think we played well in attack. I thought in defence there were moments where we looked shaky, but we had, overall they didn't threaten us too much, other than the Rooney free kick. I thought Rooney still looks very good. Definitely a Premier League quality player, no doubt about it. I don't know if he should be playing centre midfield, but I think he's definitely still Premier League quality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right into some player ratings. So Sergio Romero, I think out of 10 for me, he has to get a 7 for me today, because I think if you look at his performance, he's made two very, very good saves. He made one in the first half, and then he made one from the Rooney free kick in the second half. And that was, that's a goal saving. That was goal saving. That one in the second half, that free kick, because that's going straight in the top corner, and he just reached out. So I think you have to give him a 7 for that. So if we go right to left, you got Diogo Dalot. I think he had a pretty good game. He did some good things and some bad things. I think there were some positions that he gave the ball away in, but I thought he did a good job of getting forward, and he did all right in defence as well. So I give him a solid 7, to be honest. Lindelof didn't have much to do. Neither of Lindelof and Bailey did, in fact. I think they both looked assured in possession. Neither of them panicked at all. They didn't really make any mistakes. Looked assured on the ball, didn't have too much to do, as I say. So I think I'll probably give them both a solid 6. Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is not someone that's always beloved. Not always the most beloved player, but I think this game I have to give him man of the match, because he scored one goal and he was involved in Ighalo's first goal. So I think you've got to give, based on that alone, I would give Luke Shaw an 8. I would give Luke Shaw an 8, and I would say that he's the man of the match. So that's the back four done. If we move into the midfield, Scott McTominay. I found that quite a difficult one, because I think he doesn't quite look as good as he did before he had the injuries. He didn't quite look at it. He had a few sort of misplaced passes. He did all right for the most part. He had a few times where he sort of slowed the game down, but overall made some good tackles. Was safe with the ball, got forward a little bit. So I think, again, in a better game, you maybe wouldn't give him as much, but I'd give him a 7 here. Fred next to him. Fred was absolutely incredible in the first half. Obviously, he went off quite early on. I think it was about the 60th minute Fred got took off. So he didn't play the whole game, but I certainly think that based on the first half performance, I would give Fred an 8. In fact, I'm going to give Fred an 8. So I think he just continues to be excellent. He's an incredibly consistent midfielder, considering that last season we thought he sucked. He's absolutely quality this year, and people are not giving him enough credit even still. Moving forward, Lingard. I actually thought this was Lingard's best game for a long time. So he starts on the left. I thought in the first half he gave the ball away a lot, and I didn't really like his performance. However, for Lingard, it wasn't that bad. So as far as the Lingard performance goes, it's a lot better than what he's been doing recently. It just is. As sad as that sounds to say. I think in the second half, when Derby were coming forward more, he was able to spin into space and he went on a few little runs down the left. Like, there was 2 or 3 times where he was taking players on and getting free kicks from it. So I think in this game, I have to give Jesse Lingard a 7. And that's, he's been shocking. Not to put it lightly, not to hate on anyone, but he's been below par for a very long time, Jesse Lingard. So I am happy that he played well today, and I hope that, I don't particularly want United to keep him next season, but I do hope he I hope he finds some form before the end of the season. Going over to the right hand side, who was on the right hand side? Juan Mata. Yeah, Juan Mata, I don't know, I think it's a solid 6 for me. I think he did some good stuff. I think he got caught in possession and he was a little bit too slow on the ball at times, and he would sort of slow the game down when we were on the attack. And I feel like even though he's a number 10 and he's supposed to be playing attacking passes, I feel as though he a lot of the time was actually looking to go backwards and played it backwards when he could have gone forwards, especially in the first half. However, you also have to balance that out and say that he was pretty instrumental in some of the attacking play that we did produce. So I would say 6 for Juan Mata. Bruno Fernandes wasn't the best game for him. He gave the ball away quite a lot, to be honest. He did give the ball away a lot, but he gave the ball away because he was trying to do things that were creative, and a lot of our players are not doing that. So I think Bruno, for me, I still think everything, I don't want to say everything, most of the stuff that we were doing well would come through Bruno. So anytime we looked creative or we looked dangerous in attack, it was coming from him and his little flicks around the box, and his movement off the ball is just second to none. Like, he's making the rest of our team look like a bunch of donkeys. I really do believe that. He's making everyone look very bad. He's telling other people what to do, when that's what the coaches should be doing. He's telling people where to be, because they don't seem to have knowledge of where to be, and I think that is down to bad coaching. I'm sorry to say it. Ollie, I love you, but you're not a good coach. So, yeah, Bruno gets a 7 from me. It's not his best game, but he gets a 7. Ighalo, again, got to give him an 8. 2 goals. I don't think he sort of held the ball up, played well with his back to goal, wasn't overly involved in the game other than his goals, but I think that's what we bought him for, or loaned him for rather. So I think this is what we want from Ighalo, to someone that's going to be quick in the box. And I think I'm a massive lover of Martial, but I think this is one area where Ighalo will excel over Martial, is that sort of box striker instincts that he showed in both of his goals, to be honest. They were both sort of scrambles in the box where he's quickest to react. And that's the type of striker that I think we thought we were getting, and it's the type of striker that we need, because Martial isn't giving us that, as good of a footballer as he is. He, at the best of times, doesn't always give us that threat in the box when there's crosses coming in. So, yeah, substitutions. Andreas Pereira was the first one. He sort of just buzzed about like he normally does. He had a few good touches on the ball, actually, so I think to give Pereira a solid 6 on this occasion, because I think he did all right when the game was sort of more stretched than it was in the first half. I think he did okay. Trying to think of who else was substituted on. Oh yeah, Anthony Martial. Again, sort of a couple of good touches, but I don't really think he did enough to make a real impact on the game, so I'm going to give Martial a straight 5. Brandon Williams, likewise, gave the ball away a couple of times, did sort of a couple of good dribbles as well. So, yeah, solid 5 for Brandon Williams. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think you have to give him a solid 7 here as far as the manager rating goes, just because we should be beating Derby and we should be beating them comfortably. So I'm not gonna start riding any bandwagons here, because we should be beating Derby. But I think a bit of momentum after that game to Everton, which was just bitterly disappointing. I do think that this gives us some solid momentum going into the City game. So I think that overall it was a good performance. It was a great atmosphere in the away stand, as it always is with United fans. So overall, very good performance. Good game. We played good football, and hopefully that will give us some good momentum, a push on against City. Although I'm very nervous about that game because it's just every game now is like our biggest game of the season. So, guys, let me know what you thought in the comments. Any feedback is always welcome. Let me know what your player ratings were. And please, for the benefit of the channel, leave a like and a subscribe on the video. Thank you very much.